Will the diversity and victory of last year's Oscars 2019 91st Academy Award winners ever be repeated? It is simply not a matter of making a request. It is not a matter of someone allowing it. It is about making it happen. The goal of increased diversity and inclusivity has to succeed. For the sake of art, cinema, and creativity, the creative field must be a safe space for all, for the ones that watch it, as well as the ones that work in it, or wish to work in it, or wish to be recognized for working in it. For the movement of diversity and inclusivity to succeed, we as a collective and individual need to also recognize moments of success in the middle of all the anger. We have to give credit where it is due. The movement for inclusivity and diversity has to recognize moments of victory and not ignore it. If it has been done once, it can happen again. And that statement is where the power is at. It ceases to be impossible. Now, we have a precedent. In my opinion, last year's Academy Awards was that precedent, one of the best moments in our fight for diversity in entertainment. By last year, I mean Academy Awards 2019. And I hope there will be many repeats to the point where it becomes a norm. It is imperative to celebrate victories while we continue to speak up for continued diversity in the entertainment industry and awards. We are far from done, but we must celebrate the victories while we are on the way to being done. The winners in the 4 categories of Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Supporting Actor, and Best Supporting Actress were all representatives of diversity, either due to them as an individual and or for the characters they portrayed. Rami Malek, an Egyptian American, won the Academy Award for Best Actor for playing a Parsi, Indian, gay, immigrant, British singer cum legend Freddie Mercury in Bohemian Rhapsody. Diversity to the brim. Olivia Colman, an English actress who excelled in character roles to the point where she is now leading in both TV and movies, won the Academy Award for Best Actress for playing a lesbian English royal queen Anne in The Favourite. Mahershala Ali, a Muslim American actor, became the first Muslim actor to win an Oscar, and he won the Academy Award in the Best Supporting Actor category for playing a gay African American musician named Don Shirley in Green Book. Regina King, an African-American actress, won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress for her role in If Beale Street Could Talk. The above is the level of diversity that we need as the norm. Having said that, any of us movie buffs will also tell you that each of those actors deserve the win based on their talent and specific performance for which they have been awarded. The award was rightfully won based on talent alone. An award cannot and should not be handed based on diversity quota, and that should never be the case. Talent has to be paramount. In that same regard, excellent talent cannot be ignored or sidelined because of or due to their other diverse backgrounds such as race, religion, sexuality, etc. Again, the creative field has to be a safe space. The movement for diversity and inclusivity has to recognize its moments of victory so that we can use it as the precedent blatantly is, and stop making it look like an impossibility. It has happened before, so it can happen again. To the gatekeepers that are adamant on keeping the others out, do not use that precedent as a morsel to say, look, we did give you an award, that one time. Yes, Catherine Bigelow happened, but once. Gone are the days when the massive walls of giant studios and corporations drowned out the cries for help from the many that weren't allowed in. Social media has given power to the people, and a single hashtag has the magical David from the David and Goliath story, superpower, to turn the suffering masses into a collective strong enough to topple modern day giants. Do you all remember how the people got a major studio to redesign Sonic the Hedgehog? Do you all remember how the people got a major organization called the Academy Awards to show respect to the cinematographers and editors and award them their accolades during the Oscars screen time? There are many such events, countless, for the sake of us all. But the topic of diversity and inclusion cannot begin and end during the Oscars, BAFTAs or Golden Globes. Keyword, begin. What is better, telling the chef what you want in your food or complaining about it after the food has already been cooked, over and over again? We have got to start talking, tweeting and taking action towards inclusivity and diversity long before Oscars or award season has begun. And if the chefs are not willing to listen, then I guess it is time to start cooking ourselves. It is not about creating this huge noise only around award season. It is about adding the right ingredients before the food has been cooked. And boy, a variety of ingredients are available and ready to act, write and direct the hearts out. A variety of cooks are available. And I, for one, cannot wait to taste all the diverse delicacies, albeit artistic. Speaking up against the wrong and for the good is as old as human civilization itself. The survival of our species depends on it. We as humans will always strive for better. We are aspirational. Imagine having a coloring book, a canvas of cinema, and a palette of colors to choose from. By palette of colors, I mean diversity in everything from race to ethnicities, religion to style, politics to ideologies, culture to language, genres, etc. And then being told you can only use 5% of it. Would you be calm or angry? The child me would be halfway into the second act of my tantrum by this point. Speaking up matters. Striving for the better matters. Can you imagine if the human species stopped speaking up? If the suffragettes didn't speak up against the status quo, women would be considered not good enough to vote. If scientists and inventors didn't speak up against the status quo, our homes would be full of hazardous candles, since electricity would be deemed too strange as an idea. If a skinny old man in a loincloth didn't speak up, India would still be under the British rule. If a short black lady didn't speak up, or in her case refused to stand up, segregation would have never ended. If a couple of forward-thinking men didn't speak up for a new world full of acceptance for all, USA would still be under the British Empire as a colony. If an intelligent gay scientist did not speak up and break the Enigma code, World War II would have ravaged our world, and the entire geography and climate would have been different for the worse. If certain pilgrims didn't speak up against religious oppression, the new world would have been a fairy tale. And the list goes on. And for the sake of humans, few. So to all of you speaker-uppers, carry on. The fight is far from over. We have lots of ground to cover. But we have a precedent, and we have to hold on to that towards our path to normalizing it. The 91st Academy Awards from 2019 can be repeated, and it must be. Mission possible. To all the Rami Maleks, Olivia Colmans, Mahershala Ali's, Regina Kings, you are all seen, and we the collective will make sure of it. Now I'm off to use the entire coloring palette. Heck, I might even create some new colors of my own.